It's shocking how much work there is to do, even for the three of us.
And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person. It's so frustrating.
Huh? You're...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries, not servants.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, Traveler? It has been several days since Ganyu left for Jueyun Karst. She's the general secretary of the Liyue Qixing. We've only taken over her responsibilities until she gets back.
Even though the Qixing have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they still want to pay their respects to the Illuminated Ones. They commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Jueyun Karst and bring the Adepti the latest news about the crisis. Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual responsibilities by now, but she's disappeared without a trace.
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu just took a little detour. Who can blame her after working so hard?
I'm afraid it's not very likely. Ever since we met Ms. Ganyu, she's been nothing but the most conscientious person in all of Liyue. Even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu stays on duty at Yuehai Pavilion saying there is still so much to do. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse to slack off.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus. She wouldn't get in trouble, right? Why do you look so upset?
It's because of this absurd workload of hers. When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought it would simply be a matter of changing our work environment.
We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing.
We don't even know how long we've been working. We feel guilty for taking even a short breather like we are now.
Looks like you got a serious emergency on your hands.
Speaking of Jueyun Karst, Traveler, I've heard that you can go in and out of there as you please.
Of course! We've been there lots of times.
That's good news. Could you go to Jueyun Karst and find Miss Ganyu for us? Preferably before we collapse under this workload. We're saved. I remember Miss Ganyu said that she'd be visiting Cloud Retainer's abode. You might as well start looking for her there.
It's about time she came back to work. Otherwise...
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang first and bring up our overtime pay again.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live in Mel Outsong? We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Is it what you wish to find? Hopefully the excitement of opening a treasure chest has at least made it a worthwhile experience.
One with my blade!
Settle down!
There's no way for you to get up there. Where's a wind current when you need one?
Motion to compel!
Force my blade! Spirit blade! Attack! Yeah.
Person standing over there. That's Ganyu! We finally... Ganyu! Here you are!
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs that bring you here? I shouldn't. I have left the human world. Please contact the Yua High Pavilion regarding matters concerning the commercial port.
Huh? You don't want to be the Chising secretary anymore? But they're all waiting for you to come back!
That's why you're here? You want me to come back? I'm afraid you came here in vain.
What? Did something happen?
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. It was meant to be. When the Adepti entrusted humans with overseeing Liyue, I knew it was only a matter of time until I had to leave. My Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baishao, and Baishu. Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. Since the Qixing gave me a chance to leave with dignity, I decided to be tactful as well. I appreciate your kindness, but there's no need for your words of comfort. After 1,000 years away, I came back to Jueyun Karst. Looking at the clouds floating among the mountains brings me peace of mind. I feel better now.
But...
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Cloud Retainer, we're terribly sorry.
One merely jests. One felt your presence the moment you set foot upon this land.
Wow, you Adepti really...
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. It looks like you get along quite well. A matter leaves you at an impasse then. Not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year. Yes. Since you are Ganyu's friends, tales from her youth shall one apprise you of, perhaps?
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were so cute as a child. One is most certain that your friends would like to hear of it.
Oh, Paimon wants to hear it!
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed. When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns. She was elsewise loath to sleep.
Wow!
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball. The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a monster she had seen.
Cloud Retainer? Forget it. It's about time for my training. I will take my leave.
One's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
And you did the exact opposite. Impressive.
Be that so? But returning to Ganyu, most gladdened one is of your arrival. One cannot help but feel that remaining in Jueyun Karst shall not be good for her. One will tell you more about her, if you should permit it. Most benevolent among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Jueyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Jueyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Jueyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
One did, by chance, hear this much of Ganyu's thoughts. Alone, she will find her predicament hard to conquer. One hopes that you will accompany her.
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Besides, Liyue hasn't given up on her. She's got it all wrong. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu was talking about?
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since returning to Joyun Karst. At her behest, one has organized training for her to achieve that end.
She should be in the southern part of Mount Aotsong right now, preparing for the trial.
Huh, is that so? Let's... Ganyu?
Why did you come here? Is that so? You really are interested in the ways of Adepti. This trial was prepared by Cloud Retainer. Its goal is to help me feel like an Adeptus again. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make it seem like she is too unaware of the abilities of others.
Is it difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. The power hidden within you is not inferior to mine. If you're ready, we shall begin the training. We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
There's a lot of gliding around. It does feel like something Cloud Retainer would come up with.
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised. We've completed the task. What do you think? I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti, despite having none of their blood.
Ganyu, what were you planning to do once you...
The training's not over yet. The part prepared by Cloud Retainer is only the first trial.
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other Adepti?
No. The only Adeptus who...
Who is it?
Conqueror of demons.
Huh. So it's Shell. That cold-hearted loner? How come he's prepared to try out for...
I found him unapproachable at first, too. But I believe that being able to face him is an important part of my homecoming. He's already waiting for me. Come along if you're interested.
Of course we are.
You're half an hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the wrongful ways of humankind.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud...
I don't need your explanations and don't require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just helping you with your training. That's all.
Shell is such a...
You're neither an Adeptus nor a human, always treading the line between the two worlds. It must create a lot of confusion. Instead of explaining yourself to me, you should face your true self.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries your mind, your body can help you find a solution. The trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential of your body.
Yes. I'm ready.
Focus on the trial.
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed.
From whence you came, one with my blade.
Be sanctified.
Coming at ya! Hey there! Boom boom! Inadmissible evidence!
Spirit blade!
Motion to compel!
This is long overdue.
Silence!
Incinerate!
Forth, my blade!
Hey there! Hiya! Haha! Ah! Watch out! Hiya! Cha! Ha! Coming at ya! For Rex Lepis!
The tides beckon. Settle down. It's over.
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking other people's validation, only you can evaluate the result of this.
Xiao always has such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you...
I have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors. I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also...
Pesky visitor?
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis! I've finally come upon the Adepti. Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your merciful blessings, O Adepti. I beg of you, please grant me luck.
Oh, so it's a pilgrim. Huh. He can handle any battle, but talking to strange...
I am also one of the Adepti.
Perfect! I didn't come in vain then. Although you sound a bit half-hearted. What blessings can you grant me?
Wow, straight to the...
Dear Pilgrim, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Adepti don't help every pilgrim for free.
For free? Do you mean that you charge?
That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that everything should be earned through hard work and earnest living. It would be unfair to other people if you got everything you wanted for no reason.
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. The lives of the common folk are riddled with hardships, but are also full of joy. A person of your age should focus on work and family, instead of chasing after fairy tales.
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city folk? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus to cheat people out of their money? Ugh, how dare you reprove me? I bet you came here looking for the Adepti yourself.
He might sorta have a point.
Enough. Doesn't matter if you're a real Adeptus or not. You're useless. I'm leaving.
Nobody... Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make me feel like an Adeptus again. But being questioned by him made me realize that But I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an Adeptus,
It's true! Just...
all right. I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor, if I'm proven right.
It's a step in the right direction.
I'm still...
Come on, Ganyu! We're almost there! You don't want to turn back now, do you?
I suppose you have a point. It would be quite impolite of me to leave the two of you now.
That's right! Where do you want to go?
I've spent too much time in the mountains. Let's go for a walk in the port.
Happy to come with.
The sound of the smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy. I haven't taken a stroll around here in a long time.
Huh. That's true. Ganyu seemed to be working all the time.
Well, when I think about my time here, I've spent most of it behind a desk filing documents. It put me in a certain mood. Similar to the one I felt during my training in Jueyun Karst, in fact.
Is that it? I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here. You were always so terribly busy.
Lady Ganyu? Why are you calling her that?
Allow me to introduce...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have done so much for Liyue after all, and I am the one who has yet to introduce myself.
Uncle Tian is a member of the Liyue Qixing, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Qixing? The same rank as Ningguang?
Hush now. I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no wish to be followed around by those armed guards. In most people's eyes, I'm just a forgetful and wordy old man.
Uncle Tian is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
What an honor to receive such a...
Uncle Tian, please. A person of your standing should really...
My apologies. Thank you for looking after me when I first ascended to my position.
Oh, so you've been friends for...
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Qixing secretary.
Talking about secretaries... I don't know if I should bring...
Yes, she works at Yue High Pavilion, and she's my junior.
I don't know myself, really. May I trouble you to meet her at Yue High Pavilion? She just needs a bit of guidance.
With pleasure. Solving the Qixing's problems has always been in my job description.
She's back in character, just like that, huh? Let's move then.
Don't think too much.
Miss Ganyu, it's been too long. I don't know why, but seeing you brings me a sense of peace in these chaotic times.
Indeed, it has been a while, Huixin. I'm flattered, but aren't you exaggerating a little? I heard that you've encountered some problems and came to see if I could be of some help.
My father asked you to come, didn't he? Abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble you.
Don't worry. I'm always happy to help a junior colleague from Yue High Pavilion.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also a great...
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Ugh, where should I start? I discovered something strange while organizing tax records. There are obvious irregularities in the tax declarations of two stores, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique. However, whether I question the shopkeepers or check their accounts, I can't seem to make any progress with my investigation. Without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way, then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique are old business rivals, competing for market share due to their similar wares. In that case...
I I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu. Miss Ganyu plans to let them expose each other.
Exactly. Let's start with Wanyo Boutique. The owner's name is... Bolai, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. Follow me, please.
Aha! We meet again, traveler. I suppose you're...
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not sufficient should we need to place such an order. We would certainly go...
What? Ugh. That rascal Dongsheng. He's...
Well, Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records... Huh. Is there any...
Don't let that rascal fool you. If you don't believe me, show me his tax records.
You know Second Life's business?
Of course. Ugh, their every transaction makes my blood boil. I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look over this tax record. We'll review Second Life's credit based on your...
Oh, of course. I'll read line by line and word by word. Ah, here, I found it! That exquisite wooden furniture set he bought from Fanmu Carpenters at the beginning of the year. Ugh, he even flaunted it in front of me. Look at the tax record. Not a word about that furniture. And he kept all the profit for himself.
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the documents related to this transaction. No wonder there was no trace of it.
I told you so.
But, Miss Ganyu, despite all this, can't he just flat out...
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but I believe the supplier, Fanmu Carpenters, might still have some proof of it.
Aha, you're right. Master Lu from Fanmu Carpenters must still have the invoice. He wouldn't be swayed by the likes of Dongsheng.
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr. Bolai.
Oh, please, that's not...
I'm afraid
It's all right, Wei-Shin. You can stay in Liyue Heart.
Oh, that's...
Ah, welcome. How can an old carpenter like me help you? I'm usually happy to take new apprentices, but I'm afraid I can't take too...
Kingsa really is...
Hey, I heard that.
Master Lu, we've just come to see you and ask...
Don't worry, I know. Why would the Qixing care about an old man like me?
You're very direct, Master Lu. I will be plain. We're looking for proof that Dongsheng from Second Life has been evading taxation. Dongsheng bought some furniture from you at the beginning of the year. Do you still have the invoice or any other record of that transaction?
Oh, it's about Second Life. It was a big order. How could I forget?
Sure enough, Mr. Bolai was right. Could we perhaps borrow that invoice? We won't have any evidence to bring against Dongsheng otherwise.
Of course you can. But I'm not so sprightly anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
I only do my woodwork and display finished wares here at Fanmu Carpenter's. As for old documents and such, I keep them all in a warehouse west of here. But some troublemakers have recently moved there, invading my warehouse. I tried to drive them away, but they just wouldn't leave. Since you need that invoice anyway, it may be best to get it from the warehouse yourself. And while you're at it, you can teach those louts a lesson.
So that's what happened. I see.
I'll leave you to it then. I need to get back to work.
Take back the warehouse, find the invoice. Time for us to show our stuff in a fight.
Wait, I think I saw one of those trouble-
Oh, Paimon sees them too! It's one of the Fatui!
They must be plotting something against-
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master Lu's-
Ever since Osial attacked the heart, we won't cause a serious diplomatic crisis by getting into some small scuffle with the Fatui within our borders. Besides, I can already feel their malicious intentions. Consider it my intuition as the secretary of the Qixing.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go
Frozen. Crit, you'll get frostbite. Flash frost. Freshness preserve.
Motion to compel.
Oh no!
Incinerate! Hey there! Fire! Well,
One with my plan, from whence you came.
Bow your head, let the mighty be humble.
grapple for flame!
I think you've had enough.
Plan? What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but if you don't spill whatever we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth.
If you're telling the truth, then why would you, a member of the Fatui, suddenly appear on the outskirts of Qingsa village?
Fine. If you really want to know,
About to...
pick berries over there.
I must admit, I didn't expect you.
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning, and I heard that there were fresh berries in this area. Think about it. I'm here alone, and Qingsa village is nothing more than a retirement spot for old people. What could I be scheming anyway?
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like he feels like he's the victim here.
So you have nothing to do with the occupation of Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse?
Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse? I swear, I only came here to pick berries. That's all.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse after all.
I misjudged the situation and offended you. Our exchange only represents my personal views. If you wish it so, you—
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs—
Yes, precisely. As an alternative, you may try to solve—
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you wear that?
What's your choice, then?
I'll get back to my berries.
What a bittersweet—
I made a laughingstock out of myself. I might have spent too much time away from work.
No worries, it's always—
Let—
those troublemakers were nothing more than a few hairy churls. Let's show them what we got.
Bow your head.
Boom! Hey there! Coming at ya!
Fury Blade! Attack!
Settle down. Be sanctified.
Coming at ya!
Bow your head.
Hey there! Ooh! Attack!
Settle down.
Invisible enemy!
From whence you came!
Let the mighty be humbled.
All clear! Quick, let's look around for the invoice. This one is an invoice from One Min Restaurant. Some dining tables and chairs. That's not it. This one is Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too.
Abandoned property belongs to whoever finds...
This one is Second Lives. We finally found it. Let's bring this invoice back to...
I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
I promise to help you and I'll keep my word. Look, it's the invoice for the transaction between Second Life and Fanmu Carpet.
Thank you.
Agreed. How about we go to Second Life and...
Please be mindful.
Isn't it... Huixin, from the UI, I told you that all of my transactions are included in the records. My tax declaration... I do hope that my business won't be affected by any groundless accusations.
Groundless accusations? but I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately. It is—
No. No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent sources of profit.
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dongsheng, you've already been proven guilty of tax—
What? Proven guilty?
He's talking without rhyme or reason. Must time for the finish.
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me—
I'm...
Do you admit to tax evasion?
I didn't think you'd...
Indeed. We wouldn't have found out if it weren't for Mr. Boalai.
Balai? That imp from Wanyo Boutique? So he told... He's got his own...
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng, I'd like to hear a little more. I don't think you'll need my guidance.
Yes, thank you. I must say, your enemy knows you best. To think, you came up with...
It's actually... pitting your opponent against their enemies and watching them drag each other down from an advantageous position, that's how Uncle Tian managed to keep his position in the Qixing secure for so many years. I figured that as Uncle Tian's daughter, you'd naturally grasp your father's strategies. So, I decided to use one of your father's tricks and play it out for you to see.
I can see it now. Clearly, I still have a lot to learn about my father.